company is fun, especially when they think black powder is cool. Alright, 1860. Alright, 1860. Revolver, single action only. We do have a half cock position on this. Now the fun thing about half cock here is you can freewheel your cylinders. So you've got to be in half cock in order to load, but your loading arm doesn't just drop into the chambers when you're actually in a position that it snaps into. You have to wheel it around partway through to get that loading arm to drop in. Alright. So 15 grain charge. And you have previously identified the design issue with these, why this design is not used anymore, in that it can be a little bit wobbly. Brass frame, these were prone to misclocking issues historically, so we're running a low charge at 15 grains. Historically, these would have been shot with a 30.
30?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, given the energy in the 777 that we learned about yesterday, and the fact that this is the brass frame, we're running a low charge. We'll start with only loading the one cylinder so you can get a feel for it, and then we'll go back and load it.
Let me get the caps.
Alright. So, we've got our 15 grain charge. We're going to directly into a chamber. Now, if we were going to load all 6, we would load the powder charge into all 6 first. So I've advanced that around 1, so the powder's here. We bring it around a little bit. Don't let it click, because then you're going to have to swing it all the way back around. Take our shot. Again, these are 4.57s. Drop that into position, and the ramrod has a well in it, so that it sits nicely on the shot. So it's there in place. We'll go ahead and when the loading arm stops moving, that's it. And then we should get a strip of lead back. That must have been our light cylinder. We've got one chamber where it's slightly wider than the rest of them, and it doesn't shave off nearly as much lead. And that chamber is actually the reason why I run 4.57s, because it likes to chain fire. So we'll go ahead and we'll spin that one back around to put it here, so that we can take a cap and cap in, and we'll push that on as good as we can, because remember yesterday we had the issue with the other one. So now that chamber is locked. And you'll see kind of up at it just to make sure you've gotten the cap on the right chamber. So we'll wheel that around so that it's next to go into firing position.
Well, you do it. I'll do the next one. I'll do a full.
Okay.
Yeah. Not bad.
I don't see where it hit, but I think that's a function of the target.
Where were you aiming?
More or less centered.
I think you're slightly to the right.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Like, off the paper. Well, let me give it a go. That was sick.
Now, before we get too much farther, nipple pick, because on this gun it just pass it in. As you start to put your pick in, you'll feel it hit the bottom of the nipple, and then at some point you should feel it actually go in. Once you hit that point where it's gone in, you can pull it back out.
Just make sure it's clear.
You've cleared it. Yep.
Cool.
Now, loading all 6 is where things start to get fun, because you're going to do powder 6 times, and then you're going to do shot 6 times, and then you're going to do caps 6 times. And we don't. Let me go ahead and I'll grab the case, because you'll want something you can brace the gun against.
For what?
So that you don't have to set it back down, because if you set it flat like it's setting now, you lose powder.
You mean like that?
That would work.
Alright, you can put the case back. So I'll do the next one.
So the first click will move that into the next position to load shot into. So then, if you're gonna directly load your shot, you'll spin this around a little bit farther, so
Only a
that's
little bit.
so that your loading arm can go in. Slide your shot in.
Now let me make sure I got the one with the powder. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's why you gotta keep track of that kind of thing. Now, if you let the loading arm drop down, get that shot down into that well
Yeah,
on
I
the
feel
ramrod,
that.
and pull that down. And that's it. Now let it come back or go forward. You'll get that. Bring that ring of light off of there.
Alright.
That's a keepsake. And then spin it around.
This thing, yeah?
Yep, you should see it. Go ahead and grab a cap.
Yeah, we'll set these off all to the side.
That works.
This can hold our little lead rings.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to do that. And that's one, yep. That's one of the other good uses for a nipple pick. Although, typically speaking, when that happens, you can turn the gun on its side and knock on it a couple of times. Oh, that must have been yesterday.
Probably. How's that? Is that enough?
That should do it. So now wheel that around so that your cap is in the next position to advance.
Right here?
One more. That's it. So now when you pull that hammer the rest of the way back, yep. Now you saw that you shoot revolvers regularly. That's all the fireball that you're used to with 357.
hair trigger, yo.
Yeah.
Not bad though. I'm a couple inches high.
Yeah. It's got a really nice trigger on.
Yeah, that's a nice trigger. Alright, so then we go half cut.
Yep.
Fell off a bit too much.
Knock that off of there. And then we can set that aside as your first press.
Put that one in there. The other ones can go here. Sick, dude. And then, so what? So that's this one, so I go one more.
Yeah, and now you don't necessarily have to use the nipple pick every time, but you have to have it available, especially on this one, because the everything is such tight tolerance relative to the other one.
That's pretty cool, David. Pilot.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Video clip that.
That's a beautiful rifle. What's that? That's beautiful.
Thank you. Alright, so if we're going to load all 6, just remember, one of these chambers, when you load the lead into it, will load easier than the other 5. You need to keep track of that chamber and make sure to fire that chamber first. If you don't fire that chamber first, you risk a chain fire. Correct for chain fires because we have patch materials. But we want to try to avoid them in the first place by firing that easy chamber first.
Well, how come the powder doesn't come out of the hole?
Remember what I said about small tolerances? Yeah, you need the nipple pick on this because of the small tolerances. The powder is actually coarser than the hole in the nipple that allows it to fire. And so you, with all of that, that's part of the reason why the pick is so important. Alright, comment section. I don't know whether you guys are hearing chipmunks right now or not, but this process takes a while. We're probably going to speed it up. You're going to have some amount of spillage. As you learn and get more used to it, your spillage is going to reduce. I've gotten myself to the point where if I load 15 grain charges, after 50 charges into loading vials, I've only lost 10 grains.
That's why, because I thought it was closed, and I went to make sure it was.
So, if you tap it. That's about as good as we're going to do.
I hope you got that on video.
You know, just for you, I'm going to go ahead and slow that back down. Because right now we're filming a time lapse.
Alright, we got 6 on all of them.
Alright, so you got powder on all 6. Now you're going to do your shot on all 6. So remember, what you'll do is you'll and get that arm to drop.
Yep.
Once you're in that well, pull it down. Okay, that's what that should feel like. That's a good load. Okay, so that's not your weak cylinder or weak chamber. It won't harm anything to snap that back into place.
Oh, that just fell in.
That's fine. It won't. But if you can get them out, it won't. Yeah, there's no pack in this hole like there is on the other one. You don't need to do that. So, I'm trying to track where things are.
So it was interesting because some of them weren't as high as other ones. So
Yeah,
that's why I was.
There's a little bit of variance in how much powder's actually getting in there.
I think it was just how it packed in, like, because some of them had some powder on the wall,
Right.
stuck to the loop.
Yep.
So you said it's opposite. Well, I got to get these things in anyway, so.
Okay.
Cool. So the patent.
There's
is
the
here.
patent. So it was this one. 1, 2. All right. That should be your weak one. Your risk of chain fire would be the next one to advance. So it's the first one. You should be good to go. If it chain fires, you will know.
Do you want to switch the video to regular?
Regular how?
Time lapse still.
Time lapse just means I'm going to speed it up and get it.
Oh. All right.
Give it a second. That was a cap that went off, but your chamber did not go. Okay. Now, here's what we want to do. We already know that that's bad. There's something didn't go. We don't know why. Fire the next chamber.
Yeah.
That will move this chamber into a position where it's visible, where we can then see what's going on. Okay. I think. Let me see it. No. It is safe to do this check because there's a dead cap. That is not empty. That is not empty. Okay. So that was just a
Bad cap?
bad cap.
Just didn't move at all.
That's still low. So
we can keep moving.
yeah. So I'm gonna go into half cock.
Put a cap on it. Oh yeah. That's down low.
Nipple pick. And, but yeah, you can see there's something in there.
So it probably that's blocking the
Yep.
cap.
So I just put the cap back on it so that you know that that's not the chamber that will fire. That one's not going to knock out. All right,
Pretty lame.
we got 4 chambers left. Go into half cock. Advance it. And now go into full cock, and you can fire. There we go. Now, wheel it around and make sure you've got no caps left. Alright, you got no caps left, we're clear. We're clear. Good Adam, thank you. Yep.
Let's take a look. So we're shooting a little high.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I bet if you hold here, you'll hit, or maybe here.
Probably.
It doesn't have combat sights.
Nope. Well, not modern sights anyway. That's where we're shooting from. We're at 25 yards here. Alright, that cap went.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Same thing you did before. Fire the next chamber.
Yeah.
Alright, before you draw, before you cock it. Because you want that hammer to stay on a known empty. Alright, the cap went, the chamber is still loaded. So now we can go to half cock.
I think that need replaced.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, it's the same exact one.
Well,
that?
once I get those nipples off of there, I'm going to replace them. But I need to get them off of there first.
Alright, video rolling?
Yep. It never stopped. You're not on an empty, are you?
I am.
Yeah, let it down. Let it all the way down. Because you can't go into half cock into the loud of it.
It's that same cylinder, dude.
Yep. It's the one right before the bad one.
Yeah. You gotta get new nipples for that thing.
Yeah. I gotta get these off first.
Wow. Give it another go.
Good. It didn't chain fire. Well, Captain found it initially.
You got them all?
Yep.
Alright, this guy probably wants to put his target up.
Cool.
All set?
I'm
Yep,
all set.
we're clear. Yeah, it's definitely high.
I don't know, so I was aiming about here, and that's all pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the groupings on it are pretty good. We're just at that distance, we're a bit high, which is interesting to see. Normally you would expect it to be low.
Well, we can shoot a few more with that. I'm gonna put these up on 3.